Inside I heard the trumpets call, a salute to the champions on the wall. And in the jazz of squalls and in fashion brawls she danced.
About a month passes. Not a whole lot goes on. Things die down. Of course, you're getting into the Christmas season. So, anybody want to do anything particular for the Christmas season?
I'm decorating my house. On the outside, I have lights and a tree in the window.
Yeah.
I'll probably be putting together some sort of Christmas feast for the city homeless.
Oh, I gotcha. Right. Very good.
My money from the LLC.
You had gotten a lot more business from some of the locals since your name has kind of gotten out there about you being an artificer. So you're getting more work, making a good bit of money, which you guys really don't have a problem with money. Also, if you remember, I told you that you'd had about $1 million in the LLC now. Mm-hmm. So you've got plenty of money to pull from. And your own bank accounts are up to $30,000 now. So, yeah, you've got some savings now. You can put together a really nice feast if you want to, and pretty much cater all of it, and it won't be an issue. And there's always good places to eat in New Orleans, so you can get some good food for some folks. Yeah, $30,000 to put together a nice feast, and then, of course, you got $1 million you can draw from when you need to, so that's just a ton of cash.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so homeless feast, you're working, playing gigs.
Playing gigs.
Right, and learning how to be the autumn knight. Jody, you're decorating your house, and Volt, what about you, sir?
I guess working out and taking contracts.
Right. I haven't gotten a whole lot of contracts. It's Christmas season. Things kind of die down until after the New Year. As you know, everything from Thanksgiving until the New Year is pretty much nobody works or does anything. They just kind of chill out and go, yeah, we'll get you in the New Year and things like that. Yeah.
I am still working with Carla.
Right,
too.
Carla
There's
and
probably
Hera.
a little more time to work with Carla. Oh yeah.
Right.
You
Carla
have to
has
work with them since they don't have school. And,
Right.
and-
Carla has been progressing well. She's been coming. Well, now Carla works, so she comes I think twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and she's been. You realize she's going to be quite a talented magician. Possibly on par with you eventually. She has a lot of really good power and quite good control. Hera doesn't have much power. She's very good at channeling energy away from herself, which means she's great at blocks and defensive attacks, unless somebody throws something at her and she can have enough time to prepare to channel it back to them. She really can't do much. She just doesn't have much oomph. She's just got lots and lots of control. She still has the ability to kind of see about 3 to 5 seconds in the future, which is not terribly useful most of the time. I mean, generally, if it's only 3 seconds in the future, you really don't have much time to do anything about it.
Yeah.
But again, it makes her very defensive because if I know you're going to take a swing at me 3 seconds before you do, I know not to be there. That gives me 3 seconds to not be where you're swinging.
Yeah,
so
Imagine her like growing up. She's gonna be like magical Aikido master.
that's exactly what, and she is the magical Aikido master. That's probably the best way to put. Well, or she will be. Right now, she's still learning how to control that, how to keep things from hitting her. She's only recently realized what magic is. She just realized it was ribbons, and she would just take the ribbons and tie them together, and they would go away from her. So she's learning how to do things kind of on the fly. Right. Christmas comes along. You probably spend time with your respective families. Everything goes pretty quietly. Nice Christmas. No snow or anything like that, but, it is New Orleans. And then right before New Year's, every single one of you gets a invitation. Della, you're waking up one morning. It's in the interim time between Christmas and New Year's, and the little cup that Elias Dupree had given you starts wiggling. What the heck is going on? So you go over to the cup, and of course fill it with water, not coffee because it makes the picture jittery. And you look into the water, and you can see Elias Dupree's face in the water, and he says, Della, glad I caught you. I wasn't sure about the time difference between here and there, but I was hoping I wouldn't catch you too early.
Hi, Elias.
It's like 7 o'clock in the morning, which means it's probably too early, but that's okay. It doesn't matter.
Awake.
Yeah, you're right. He says, We have a situation, not a bad one, but there is a bit of a soiree that's being thrown in town, and a representative of the White Council has been requested. And you, as our warden for the city, will have to go as a representative.
Okay.
It's being hosted at the Devonees Mansion. Mm-hmm. So as a duly appointed emissary of the White Council, you will need to be there. You should be getting a knock on the door pretty soon, and it's almost on command. Dum, 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 dum. There's a knock on the door.
Okay, so is there anything before I go into this door, is there anything I should know about the soiree?
Well,
things to be concerned about?
Well, you're more familiar with the Devonees than I am, but remember that they are very anti-White Council. So this is a chance possibly for us to bring them into the fold, or at least make an alliance with them, which would not be a bad idea. So if you wouldn't mind, don't screw up.
And, thank you.
No pressure.
And did they reach out to you?
Oh, they reached out to the White Council requesting a representative, and then you hear dunk, 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 dunk on the door again, and he says, "Oh, did I hear someone knocking on your door? That's probably the official invitation from the Devonees."
And I just want to let you know, do you know that I'm very familiar with the Devonees?
Of course, that's
okay.
Why I figured you would be the perfect. Well, I mean, you're the only warden in the city, really, but the reason I'm not going is because you know them much better than I do.
Okay, I just want to make sure I understood what I was walking into. All right, thank you.
Well, and he says, exactly what you're walking into. This is a society that is anti-White Council, requesting a White Council representative. Don't trust anybody. But you know that. You've lived in the city.
They're just trying to force me to... Yeah, I got it. I'm good.
He says, well,
all right, thank you,
be careful. And if you need anything, make sure you're wearing your pin.
Yes.
So he cuts the connection. You go to the door, open it up. No? No?
As soon as I got the connection, I'm going to go ahead and get my pin.
Okay.
Just because I find the knock on the door
right.
kind of a little too timely.
Too convenient to time. Yeah. Okay, you put your pin on with your warden cloak and go to the door.
Yes.
Open it. Okay. There's a young boy standing there. You can see his bike is parked up against one of the front posts of where your hedgerow is. And he says, I have a delivery for a Miss Della Fontenot. Is that right?
That's me.
Oh, this is for you. And he hands you one of those, registered mail envelope-looking things that says UPS, or not UPS, but USPS. Yeah, you got mail. And he says, okay, well, sign here. Hand you a little thing to sign. Sign it. He says, all right, thanks. And he goes back, gets on his bike. He's got his helmet on, and zoom, off he goes on this little 10-speed. You can open it?
Yeah, I'm just going to take a minute to kind of look around.
You can close your door and stuff. No, it doesn't seem like anybody out there.
Close my door.
Right. And remember, you've got your wards. You've had time to make sure your wards are up. You probably had time to put at least reasonably strong wards around their houses if you want. You don't. Well, okay, you could use wards, but you've got the might of the autumn night to call upon them. A host of fairies, so you're probably okay. So yeah, you gonna pull it open?
Yeah.
All right. Rip. You open it up, and there's an envelope, and it's actually
End story.
No. It's actually got a nice green seal that looks like it's got a ring that has a kind of a double D in it, not Daredevil. And so you're gonna break the seal. Yeah. You gonna break the seal? Mm-hmm. You open the envelope, out comes this beautiful, heavy linen paper, and it's written in this, looks like somebody actually physically wrote this stuff. It's not printed out. And it says, you are cordially invited to a 12th night celebration of the Devonees. Gifts are acceptable, but not necessary, though gift giving will occur on that night. You are allowed to bring one guest. Please remember, the rules of hospitality of the Sealy Accords will be enforced. And what that means is that no one will attack you or hurt you while you are there. Right. If they do, they've broken the kind of magical accords that will cause everybody else who is a magical creature in the world could then descend upon them. Now, you have no idea if the Devonees have signed the Sealy Accords. So they may not be bound by that at all, but they are saying that they're at least guaranteeing you safe.
And it's the trip
passage.
there and back that's the dangerous part.
Well, possibly. And it says that you will meet on the corner of Canal and St. Charles Street to board a streetcar to ride to the gala.
Okay.
And there you go. Alrighty.
12th night, is that the 13th of December?
I think it's the 6th.
It's the 6th of January.
6th of January, right.
Yeah.
So it's actually after the New Year.
The start of Mardi Gras.
Yes, start of Mardi Gras, that's right.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little curious there because I wasn't sure if you said 12th night or 12-night celebration. I was like, oh Lord.
Well, that's where, no, what? A party? Yeah. Well, then, again, it's the 12 days of Christmas thing, so
A lot
this
of
is the
people,
12th day
end
of
up
Christmas.
dead at the
Right,
yeah,
correct. Or
I don't know, I
unconscious.
always
That's a
thought they
little
were
fair,
the days
Bailey.
leading into Christmas, not starting from Christmas and headed out, but that's interesting.
Well, the 25th is the first day of Christmas, and then, January 6th would be the 12th day of
Interesting.
Christmas.
Okay,
Correct.
cool,
and
cool.
again, notice each day they get a different gift, and so there will be gifts, so that you're not required to bring one. Everybody will receive a gift from the
Jean
Devonees.
Marie.
So there you go.
Jean Marie.
Yeah.
Let's see, who do
Romeo.
you want to do next?
Wait, but I've also
sorry?
been in contact with Miss Clara, just back and forth. So
Sure.
I'm.
She hasn't had any contact with Sidney St. Clair at all. He has
Good,
not.
good,
he has
good,
not said
good,
anything
good.
to her.
But I'm
Alright.
gonna take her like some Christmas gifts or whatever. I don't know when that's falling on her.
Okay. Oh yeah, you can do that. Well, this is past Christmas, but you probably had Christmas at her house.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
We'll just go with that.
Because since your family is no longer in the city, you probably spent it with her. Darwin,
Me.
you are working at your house one day, and you realize that you are out of mandrake root that you need for one of the thaumaturgical things that you need to do.
It's a shame.
Yes. So you decide to head out to Marie Laveau's Voodoo Emporium because
Right.
it's a pretty good place. You head there. It's right behind Jackson Square, and head into the voodoo shop. And there you see Anne Marie,
Okay.
the woman the attractive, I won't say older, but middle-aged woman who you saw there before.
Right.
The one that you had the soul gaze with.
Right.
You go wandering around the shop, probably seeing all their kind of kitschy candles and silly voodoo dolls and things like that that are there for the tourists. And
They do
then
have some nice candles though.
they do. They smell nice too. But the good stuff is behind the
Right.
counter where
Right.
she kind of keep an eye on it. Wander up to the counter and
Hello.
she says, "Oh, Mr. Darwin, wasn't it?"
It is.
Oh well, nice to see you again. Is there something I can help you with? She seems very, very friendly.
Yeah, I was just curious. I seem to have ran out of some mandrake root.
I have mandrake root. Very good. I'll grab. How much do you need?
Um,
Not a whole lot.
not much.
All right. Well, I'll grab it from back here. She turns around to one of the little glass jars, reaches in with a glove and a rubber glove, puts it into a Ziploc bag, seals it up, kind of closes it down, and she says, "That'll be $5.25. But I have a favor I would like to request."
This is very strange. Yeah. Sure.
Well, knowing what we know about each other, I've been invited to a 12th night soiree at the Devonees Mansion. You may be familiar with them. They're a magically active group in town. I was wondering, since I'm allowed to bring a +1, I was wondering if you'd be willing to go. It is formal.
It is formal.
Yes. So you will need to make sure you have a good suit.
Well, I mean, that being said, I don't think I've ever really been invited to a formal affair before.
Well, it should be a good time. There'll be lots of food. There are gifts being given. So you will receive something from the Devonees. And knowing them coming from the upper crust of the society in New Orleans, you'll probably get something kind of fun.
That's how you get me.
That's right. Oh, yeah. Magical or otherwise, I'm not really sure. But yes. So is that a yes then?
Why not? That sounds wonderful.
She says it's January 6th. We're meeting at 8 o'clock at Canal Street in St. Charles. We're going to board a streetcar and then ride to the Devonees Mansion. Actually, we'll be, I think, a part of one of the first crews that goes. It's the Funny 40 Fellows, and we'll be riding on the streetcar to the Devonees Mansion, and then we'll be getting off there, and they'll continue on the rest. So yeah, it should be fun. If you want to wear a mask, it is a masked ball, so I forgot to tell you that. It is a masked ball, so make sure you get a mask from somewhere. Of course, there's lots of masks in the city. So.
Interesting.
And she says, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And the mandrake's on the house.
Oh, well, thank you so
If you're going to
much.
give me your time, then at least I can do is give you free mandrake.
Fair enough. Guess I'm off to find a suit.
Cool. And she hands you your little bag, and you head off head off to find a suit. Anything in particular you're looking for? And knowing you could probably even armor this suit if you want.
I'm not gonna lie, the thought
John
of
Wick
making a
thing.
magical mask is just
You could get an armored Armani.
armored Armani.
No, there you go. You could probably do that.
Armani.
You know, you could even get
We're all trying to
bespoke.
figure out
There's some
what
nice
that's
places
like.
with expensive suits, and you do have money to burn. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I'm
not an
gonna lie,
issue.
because like there have been so many things I sit there and it's like, you know, because I've already been thinking about this, and the fact that, you know, like you're giving me the option to do this
Yes.
is enough for me to just be like, I can buy a nice suit.
Good. All right, so you're gonna head out to get a suit.
Yes.
All right. You're able to find a very nice suit place. You're not buying off the rack. They go in, they take your measurements, you know, give you several different show you several different types of styles, and you're able to pick the one you like the best, colors, patterns, the whole 9 yards. It is kind of the beginning of Mardi Gras season, so they suggest maybe going with something that maybe uses Mardi Gras colors, something along those lines. And you're able to find this really nice kind of black and gray suit that very subtly has green, gold, and purple pinstripes worked into it, but it's really faint. So it's tasteful, very tasteful. And it's a good charcoal suit, so you could wear it for, you
It
know...
could be used for multiple occasions.
Yeah, it's a charcoal suit, so you could use it for funerals
Not
and stuff.
outstanding enough to be like, why would you wear that here? But, you know, just enough to be like, oh, that's nice.
That's kind of nice, yeah. And very stylish. You're heading over there, you get your measurements done, you get back to your place, you pull the mandrake out, and out falls this little note. And, yeah. And so you unroll it, and it, in this kind of flowing handwriting, says, "This night will probably be very, very dangerous. Make sure you come prepared." And then it says, "Anne Marie."
She's got some
Damn it.
designs. In
Definitely might want to armor that suit. Which you could work an armor spell into it probably in a couple
course she
days.
slipped
It may
and
not
sent a
last
note
for the life of the
after
suit.
I
Well, it may
said
last.
yes.
Yeah,
for the life of
that's the entire
Yeah.
thing. It's like, I can't back out now. I'm already
Yeah.
committed. It's
Yeah.
I bought the suit.
Yeah, that's right.
She's like, I know what to say up front and what to slip in a note for him to find.
Are you
later.
wanting to put some armor on the suit too?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. You could probably work. What's your? What is your? Blah, 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 blah. We're doing thaumaturgy. What is your discipline? No,
4.
I'm sorry. What is your lore?
5.
Okay. You can probably using the mandrake you just bought, you can get yourself up to probably an armor. How long do you want the armor to last? If you just want it to last the night, you can probably do armor 3. If you want it to last longer than that, you're probably going to be stuck with armor 2.
When we say longer than that, are we just talking about like another day or so after that? Or are we talking about like more of a permanent thing? At
Like
that
a
point?
week. If you actually want now, well, no, hang on. Actually, you got some stuff on top of that. Knowing that you're an artificer and thinking along those lines, you could probably actually get it to armor 3 and it'd be reasonably permanent. Now that could take the place of one of your, slots that you have for potions and things like that. So you could have an armored suit, and then of course between games you could swap it out for a potion or something else. So it could just be something that you have in your closet. You just need to let me know if you're going to actually wear it and carry it or whatever.
Fair enough. And I like that. I really do like that idea. I will say that I did pick up a stunt, and
Okay.
it's high quality workspace.
Ooh. Okay. So you've been upgrading your area where you're doing your thaumaturgy. And, okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. What does it allow you to do, by the way?
So it says personal workspace quality equals resources, or at -2 resources, but fulfill 2 functions.
Yeah, your resources right now, I think everybody's got like a 3 or a 4.
I have a 4.
Yeah, that's right, because you are already at a 3.
Yeah.
So that'll definitely allow you to make it easier for you to do your artificing. So yeah, you could definitely do armor 3 reasonably permanent. Yeah. That's
Okay.
cool. Volt. You're working in your warehouse, probably lifting concrete blocks and stuff like that, and working out to get stronger. Not a whole lot's been going on right now. You've got a pretty good horde.
Yeah.
Even if it's only 1s and 0s in the computer, it's
fine.
still harder to steal that
I still
way.
got the hole underneath the
Right.
Connex box too.
Right. Was that where you have the gems?
The gems,
Right.
Jack the Ripper's knife,
Oh, that's right.
the AKs,
That's
all that
right.
stuff.
So there's a knock on the on the door. I won't say the roll-up door. It's actually the door to your building.
The upstairs one or the
Downstairs one. I think
side door to this roll-up door?
Yeah, the side door to the roll-up door. I think you took out the door that was upstairs. And
I
took
did.
out,
That's
yes.
right. Yep.
Didn't want anybody sneaking up there.
Nah, that's weird.
So yeah, the knock on the door. It's not loud. Just
Okay. I go up and I just open the door.
Okay. Anastasia's standing out there. She's wearing jeans, leather jacket, got the long dark hair, the pretty big dark eyes, and she says, "Hey, Volt, hadn't talked in a while. I need a favor."
Well, do come in.
Oh, wow! You have done a lot to the place, and so you invite her in, and she comes walking in, and she says, "And tables and a bathroom, and wow, is that like a little?" Is that a separate room over there? And she's, so can I get the nickel tour?
Sure.
So
and then I give her the tour, and as we stop by the, I guess the little kitchen area, make some how early in the morning is it? You say?
It's probably 8 or 9.
Yeah. Make some coffee or
Right.
whatever.
You got a little table to sit in there, and so she kind of grabs the coffee, perches, and she says, "Yeah, the favor. It's maybe a big one. I'm not sure. It could potentially be dangerous, though I know that's not really a big deal for you. I've been requested by one of the other houses to attend this soiree at the Devonees mansion. And I'm allowed to bring a +1, and I can't think of anybody I would rather have watching my back."
Oh no.
No. I mean, my brothers in the house are strong, but not strong like you. And they're not quite as resilient as you are. So, what do you think? It is a formal affair. You will need to, and it's masked, so you can wear a mask. And knowing what I know about the Devonees, it could potentially be dangerous. So, but it should be fun.
Say, well, you flatter me. I will. Seems like an interesting party to attend. Lots of high families.
Yeah, well, especially ones from New Orleans. Now, supposedly, the Sealy Accords will be in place so that there will be laws of hospitality, so nobody should attack you. But we all know what that means to people. Sometimes they follow them, sometimes they don't. So just be on your guard. And the Scavis will be there as well, and so I'm a little concerned that they're going to be up to something with me.
How's the food looking?
Oh, it should be good. High end. Lots.
me.
Should be open bar. We are meeting at St. Charles and Canal Street to board a streetcar. There's a crew that my understanding is they run 12th Night. They're called the Funny 40 Fellows, and we'll ride the streetcar down to the Devonees mansion and then disembark there. So it should be pretty fun.
All right. What time should I pick you up?
Well, just meet me there at 8.
Okay.
Right.
That's good.
Probably don't want to bring your car. I mean, you can, but we're going to ride the streetcar, and so we'll be throwing beads to people, and they'll probably be,
Oh, it's like a parade thing.
Yeah, beginning of Mardi Gras season.
Never been to a Mardi Gras parade.
Me neither. So it should be fun.
All right.
All right.
Well, I'll see you then.
Sounds great. Cool. So that's a yes. Great.
Oh yeah.
All right. Miranda, you're working on, you've finished setting up the meal for the homeless over the holidays. You've been working pretty extensively with Deacon Fontainebleau, and everybody's been fed. You're paying everybody off, and you notice that there's a little boy standing off to the side. And he kind of is looking at you. Big, brown eyes, and he comes walking up to you and he says, "Miranda?"
Yes, do I recognize him?
Well, you see him with kind of the homeless people. He and his,
I just don't know his name.
Right. Well, he and his dad live in one of the homeless shelters.
Okay.
So yeah. He says, "Yeah, I have something for you."
Oh, okay.
And he reaches kind of into his pocket, because it's cold, even for New Orleans, it's a little chillier there. He reaches into the pocket of his jacket and he hands you this envelope that's got a seal on it, and it's got this funny looking D shape on it, and it's green. And he says, a man told me to give this to you. He said, if I made sure I gave it to you, he said he said it was worth $20.
Okay.
He shows you the 20. So, you know.
Is he here right now? Do you see
No,
him?
no. He gave it to me as I was coming into the Christmas dinner. He said, by the way, the turkey was really good. Chicken was kind of dry, but I like the turkey.
I also thought the chicken was dry. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it anyway.
Well, cool. And hey, thanks. I appreciate you feeding me and my dad. You know, we don't get a lot of the really good food at the shelter, but this was awesome.
Oh, that's amazing, buddy. I'm
Cool.
glad.
And he gives you a quick hug and runs off. And his dad's kind of standing over there watching him to see what's going on, and he kind of looks at you and looks at his son and kind of shrugs, and they head back down this, you know, out of the, probably in one of the buildings that's owned by the church. Kind of like a community center or something like that.
Okay. So the envelope, do I recognize the seal or anything?
No.
Okay.
Not unless she's shown you the Devonees seal, and I don't think she
I don't
has.
think so.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll just, whenever I get a second to get away from everything, I'll open it.
Well, things are pretty much winding down. The people that you hired to cater it are cleaning up and taking all their dishes out to the vans and stuff like that. So you've got a few minutes. Everything gets cleaned up, put away. You know, those was the sterno cans. They're all blow them out and put them on back where they can use them again later. Leftovers are all packed up and sent home with anybody who wants leftovers, and they kind of load up their vans and head off. You're locking up the doors around the perimeter of this community center area, and you kind of get all that locked up, and you're standing out front, kind of around the corner for where you've parked your van. So yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll just walk over to the van and open it up and see what it's about.
You open it up, and inside it's got this beautiful linen piece of paper that says, you are cordially invited to a 12th night celebration at the Devonees Mansion. We will meet at St. Charles and Canal Street at 8 o'clock, ride a streetcar with the Funny 40 Fellows to the Devonees Mansion, where we will disembark. Gifts are not necessary, but are acceptable, though everyone who attends will receive a gift. The Unseelie Accord rules for hospitality will be enforced, so no one needs to fear for their safety.
Do I know what that is? Celia Accord?
You got lore? Give me a lore check. You might. The Sealy Accords are pretty well known.
4?
Yeah. The Sealy Accords were this document that everybody who is in kind of the magical realm signed so that they can meet together and sometimes talk. There are neutral grounds that have been accorded. Nowhere in New Orleans is neutral, but there are some places that are accorded neutral grounds that no one's allowed to attack, or the other signatories can jump on their heads. Some of them are like the Fae. Each of the courts, the summer court and the winter court, have each signed them. The ghouls have signed them, and so these are kind of the rules of conduct. So you're not everybody's not just at each other's throat all the time.
Does it say on the invitation this is a masquerade ball?
It is a masquerade ball, and you are allowed to invite a +1.
Okay, cool. I think Miranda is like one of those people who didn't get to make it to her high school prom, so she is like living for this moment.
Oh yeah.
And already in her head being like, this is it.
It's
like,
happening!
Yeah. In her mind, she's just like glosses over the fact about the Celia Accords, and it's like, okay, so dangerous, but still I get to wear a pretty
dress. I'm going to
dress.
be packing the sword anyway, so yeah, you're not like you're going to leave it at home. So yeah, but you do get to wear a pretty dress. That's right, and a mask. So think Mardi Gras.
I'm already got the whole concept. Like,
cool. So probably a little late to go get a dress tonight, but the next morning probably start picking out dresses. Anything in particular that you're trying to set up?
For sure. I 100% am looking for like a silvery kind of dress with jewelry and maybe like shoulder epithet type things that are like silver metallic. I'm going for Joan of Arc.
Gotcha. So are we talking sequined Joan of Arc, or are we talking what?
A couple of textures because I want to kind of recreate what looks like chainmail at some point. The rest of it like a sleek, shiny, like metal.
Okay. So yeah, you may not be able to find something exactly like that, but you can find a dressmaker who can adjust something so it looks like what you want for sure.
Or I'll just get jewelry that looks like chainmail to kind of like.
No, you can definitely do that too. All right, so cool. So you spend probably the next day
How many of
shopping.
your little rocks you keep taking to the pawn shop?
Oh no! Remember, you got $30,000 in the bank and then $1 million in an LLC. You are not. Even if you spend a couple $1,000s on this dress, you still got plenty of money.
No, I meant that she would decorate.
Oh right, for those. Oh yes, for those little diamonds. Yeah, sure.
I'm
All right.
trying really hard not to flash those
Yeah,
around
right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Because my landlord is really
Good.
suspicious.
Yeah, he's all right with you. Yeah, he kind of realized you'd come into some money, and a guy who owns a pawn shop probably doesn't ask too many questions of where things come
That's
from.
why I still live there, even
That's
though I'm
right.
technically
Rich
now.
Yeah, you're rich. Yeah. Well, you could always stay at Bunk's place over by Audubon Park. That's for sure. Mrs. Brown
There's
doesn't mind.
tons of rooms.
That's right.
Well, and his
Always
place
seems
is
to
a
be
new
enough.
restaurant. I'm hungry. Let's go.
All right, so Bunk, you're playing at a gig one night and you finish up, make a few $100s because you're enjoying it. It's right after Christmas, probably a couple days after Christmas, and you're heading home, and you all of a sudden can feel the summons from the Autumn King. You head over to the park because when he needs you, you just kind of know. That's just all it is. He summons you over there, and you head towards the tree where you know he lives. And as he kind of walks out of the tree towards you, and you drop to one knee, and he says, "Autumn Night, Sir Bunk, I need your assistance with something. We have been invited by a magical group called the Devonees to attend a celebration it's a Catholic celebration, which is not something I'm crazy about. The church has always bothered my kind, but I would prefer not to go as the king of the Autumn Fae, but I would like you to go in my stead. It does, supposedly good behavior is guaranteed for all who will be there. Presents are encouraged, though not required. I will give you a gift that you can take." And he says, and you are allowed to take I believe it's called a date. So, yes. If you know of someone who would like to go with you, you're welcome to invite them.
Swift.
It is
Exactly what I'm saying. It's like, so you got someone you want to go with, you can tell you Swift's like,
yeah, that's right. Like in the was it the Thor movie? Yeah. He says it is a formal affair, so make sure you dress accordingly, and I'm sure Swift can help you with that, even if you don't want to purchase anything, since he is quite rather adept at glamours. I think you can do glamours.
You can do glamours,
yeah. So you can pretty much, if you want to illusion yourself, you can do that. But if you want to actually get gear, you can do that too. And the Autumn King says, and be careful. I do not know much about these Devonees, but I do know that humans are a duplicitous lot. Present company not included. And he says, so be careful. And this, of course, will go with my blessing. So you will have my power to aid you, of course. So he says, yes. I'll just hand you the paper. So he hands you the paper, and it says basically what everybody else says. You're meeting at St. Charles and Canal Street at 8 o'clock. Going to ride a streetcar down to the Devonet Mansion. You are guaranteed safe passage by something called the Sealy Accords. How high's your lore?
Is a 2.
Okay. Well, you still know about it because the Autumn Knight would have told you about it, or Autumn King would have told you about it. Yeah, because the other fairy groups have signed the accords. The Autumn people have not. Okay, so technically that means you're not bound by the rules of hospitality. But that's
it's ready to eat for everyone. Come bring it.
but
Bring the noise.
But that works both ways,
Right.
too. Now they are saying that they're guaranteeing you safety, and if you kind of abide by those rules of hospitality, you're kind of supposed to follow them. But if you do something wrong, your people are not really bound by it. So there you go. He says yes, and like I said, I will give you something to take. I'll have to think of something suitable that can be given to a magically active group. that doesn't compromise us. I'll get it to you the night before.
Sure.
And he says, well, thank you, and I will talk to you soon. So I guess you head back over to Miss Brown, Mrs. Brown's brownstone. Sorry. And just to add you. And you head up for the night. It's probably about 1 o'clock in the morning. So, preparations. You probably got, all of you have about 2 or 3 days before you're supposed to meet to do this. Your suit will be ready long before that. If you have to, you can put a rush on it. Not like it's a problem. So, anybody want to do anything before you go to St. Charles and Canal and catch the streetcar with the funny 40 fellows?
I think I'm gonna hit up Gabriel Beaumont and see if he wants to go as my +1.
Ooh, that's a good idea. All right, so you call him. I expect you have his phone number, and when you give him a call, he says, Devonet Mansion, interesting. I've heard about the Devonees a little bit. I know that they are magically active, mainly the upper crust of New Orleans society. I think it's a masked ball, is that correct?
It is a masquerade ball. To be honest, I am not really sure why I was invited.
Oh,
and
you're
so,
the Knight of the Cross.
Oh, is that like
It's kind of
something they would
it's kind of a
be
big
aware
deal.
of? Oh.
Well, yeah, probably. Your sword is not out in the open, but I guess they're aware.
Okay. All right. Well, that would be all the more reason why I would like to have someone in the know and sort of in my realm of things there.
Well, he says, yes, I'd be glad to go. I believe I have a suit that'll probably work for it. I have to get a mask, but, there's lots of mask makers in New Orleans, that's for sure. So, yeah, absolutely, I'd be glad to go. Sounds good. Good.
Okay, great.
Kind of interesting that a Jewish boy will be going to a Catholic holiday. And he chuckles and says, so meet you at 8 at St. Charles and Canal?
Yes.
Good, I'll see you there. So, yeah.
I'm gonna go get a gown to wear at the ball.
Okay.
And I'll probably have some kind of
Something
one of those.
Close knit so you can work, have high slits so you can work your sword. You can take your umbrella. What are we doing here?
And then I'm gonna get like a little cape thing.
Was that a yes?
She's like,
And I'm getting a little cape thing to go across it where I can have a
cape thing across
like
it.
little tiny capes. What are they called?
Shawl?
Shawl. There you go.
For
Shawl or
why
something.
are you wearing that?
I would rather be a cape.
Yeah.
is this
Billy.
for
So I,
the
so I can put stuff in it
Oh.
that I might, tools I might need. I can't take my sword and I can't take.
No, you can bring your umbrella. Absolutely.
Oh really?
You didn't hear any prohibition against
On
weapons.
Just no
Yeah.
violence.
Yeah, just no violence.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, that being said, you could also wear your warden's cloak. Your gray cloak as a warden. You're allowed
It's
to wear
just
that.
a cloak. Okay, then that's what I'll do. I'll bring my warden's cloak and my umbrella. Good.
Okay, cool.
Yay.
You can do that. Yeah. I mean, nobody said anything about not bringing weapons. Just
+1.
I wasn't told I could have a +1.
No, you were.
Oh, I was?
It says +1 on the letter. Yeah. You don't have to bring a date. It's just you're allowed to bring a date.
Oh, bring the
The warden walks alone.
I wonder if Percy Lestrange would want to go.
You might already be going.
Wellesley's
Yeah,
probably
I was gonna say he's probably gonna be there.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
You can call him. You have his number.
I just think that would be
Interesting.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You might consider it a favor, and then you might owe him something weird, like your memories. and all that.
Or maybe this is the favor she's paying back to get him into the
Maybe
party.
he'll give your memories back. Ooh, who knows? Never know. Percy's kind of an odd duck.
I think I had a moment there whenever the auto.
I think I'm gonna do it.
You call him. All right.
See, he doesn't want to go, so he's kind of forcing you to go. And then after, actually, full gravitas, the whole thing is like, or is this a benefit? Is going to a fancy party that you're guaranteed to get a gift, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's like,
It's all profit.
He's like, yeah, profit. Yeah. It is,
Right.
This is the good part of the thing, though.
That's right, yeah. You call Percy. Phone rings. Goes about 5 rings, then picks up. And you hear, hello?
Hi.
Just imagine you hung up.
Yeah.
Do you know who this is?
Maybe not.
It sounds like it might be our warden of the city.
You might be correct. Do you have any plans for 12th night?
Unfortunately, I do. However, I do have someone who might be able to assist you. What is the situation?
I just have an invitation for a +1.
Oh, I know the perfect man who. It will be a bit of a blind date, but I think you'll enjoy this man's company.
Oh yeah. In for a penny, in for a pound.
Let's go.
All right, we'll try that.
All right, I will make the necessary arrangements. Where are you meeting? And is it a formal affair?
It is a formal affair.
Ah,
We're meeting the
Even
corner
better.
of Canal in St. Charles.
oh, riding with the Funny 40
Funny 40
Fellows.
Fellows,
Yes, they
correct.
are. They've been here for 40 years. Hence 40. Yes.
All right. Well, I guess you will
Masked
make sure
ball?
he can find me. Yes, masked ball.
Absolutely. You'll know him. He'll be wearing and he kind of stops for a minute and he says, a red flower on his suit. You'll know him.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're wearing
Afraid
red
of that
flowers, right? Mass confusion.
All right.
Excuse me, are you
Okay.
on a date? No.
And
I'll see you then.
you're about to hang up and he goes, this wouldn't happen to be the Devonees party that is being thrown.
Of course.
Oh, and you hear this kind of chuckle and he says, even better.
That's why
I
called
truly
you.
wish I could be there. This will be a night to remember. And he says, well, have a good time, but be careful. You know those Devonees. And he click. Should be fun. All right, so anybody else?
Get the suit.
Got
Yeah,
your
you
suit.
get a suit.
Got your suit. You get a nice suit or you just going for off the rack? What are we talking about here?
Nice suit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good suits. All right, nice suits.
We're
Um,
money
like-
now.
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
Like gold with like the black on the whatever collar part.
Oh, I gotcha. I
So,
gotcha.
does the autumn
Yeah,
like
gold,
the
black
autumn fair
trim.
have like a color scheme or something like that?
Actually, they do. Their color scheme is black, kind of the auburn of burnt leaves, and then trying to think brown. I mean, just kind of the colors of autumn.
Okay,
So
I want something kind of
okay.
on that.
no, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll get you a
Black under
burnt,
gold tie.
kind of brown colored suit. It won't be black,
And of course,
and maybe get some black striping in it, and maybe some brown striping. So it'll look very good. Yeah, that'd be cool. You gonna take your trombone? Wear your trombone case? You gonna pack your pistol at least?
Packing a pistol.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, definitely packing the pistol. And my, what is it? It's not a staff. It's the staff.
Oh, the spear. The spear. Yeah. Well, it's like a
My
little
walking
stick. Yeah,
My
yeah.
walking stick. I'll have it as a cane.
Right.
And then-
You can do that. It can definitely elongate. And remember, it can turn into a full-fledged spear.
You're right. And
So,
so,
yeah.
Nice.
okay, so I have those two things along with them there. So
Cool. All right.
Oh,
Yes.
is this all preparation for heading out?
Yes.
right?
Yes. Absolutely.
In preparation for heading out, I am going to, for the first time ever, use an ability I've had this entire time. I'm going to use my righteousness, so a fate point for potent prayer,
Oh.
and say a prayer before I go out.
Say a little prayer for you.
To aid my friends
Oh,
tonight. So
I like it.
any
I like it.
any hold on, let me
That's fine.
read how it works.
You know, they're like, I'm going to a ball. Good luck, everyone else.
Make a prayer to guide your actions righteously. Spend a fate point to invoke your high concept. Define a divinely inspired purpose you're aiming at, while in effect use your conviction to complement any action that directly addresses your purpose.
Okay. Cool. Very good. Very good.
Nice.
So what that means is that your conviction can give you a +1 on pretty much any roll for what you're trying to attempt tonight, because it assists you, right? So you feel, very, very I won't say convicted. That's not right. But you feel very strongly about what you're doing. There we go. Yeah. All right. So
is there any way we could I could put some kind of thaumaturgical spell on the dress I'm wearing just for added
Like
armor or anything?
Sure. You could. Yeah, absolutely. You could probably do something in the neighborhood of armor 2. You're not quite as good at thaumaturgy as Darwin is, but yeah, you could definitely give yourself armor 2 on the dress.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it would just be for like one hit, or
Probably for. No, it'll probably last the entire night. I don't know that it'll last much longer than that. Of course, if you guys get into a dust up, there may not be much dress left that you want to keep.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just want to be prepared.
Right. Gotcha. The day draws time to the day of January 6th draws nigh. Goes pretty quietly. Probably most of you spend most of the day getting ready. The Fairy King brings you a box. It's about this big. And when you open it up, there's a really pretty snow globe in it. But it's a snow globe of his tree. And you see that there's like little fairy figures around it. And so he's not in it. But there's like, you actually think a couple of the figures are you and Swift. And so this looks like a handmade little snow globe or something like that. And he says, yeah, somebody will enjoy that. And so there you go. There's
so
my
if I
gift.
give them a picture of myself, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and a picture of his tree and the park.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so he hands it to you and says, yeah.
Yeah, and I also want to bring. I'll pull one of the things that one of the founders of Google would do is I'm bringing a picture of myself, and I'm going to try to put it somewhere inside the Devonees.
Yes.
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 Definitely can do that. Framed, looking nice, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's really
amazing.
funny. I need to do that with people's houses when I go. I'm gonna have to start doing that.
Yeah,
for sure. That's just a fun thing. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Oh shoot!
And-
A
yeah.
gift. I was gonna bring a gift. Yeah, just grab something out of the pawn shop on my.
Anything in particular?
Throw a diamond at them. Like, I'm taking this.
I'll just ask
like an old
my landlord and be like,
beach tag.
go to a fancy party. I need a gift for rich people.
Okay. Look. How about this necklace? And he shows you this necklace. It's like a couple $100. It's nice. It's fancy. It's gaudy.
Perfect.
Definitely looks like rich people stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah, he has it in a box. He closes the box up for you. It's not wrapped, but who cares, right? Yeah, it's good stuff to
I
get.
don't think Miranda would know the difference.
That's for sure. Anybody else getting gifts to take?
Yeah. Do I know? Should Sidney Sinclair what's his favorite drink? Liqueur, or liquor, or?
Yeah, he's probably a bourbon or rum guy. Either one. Probably rum because it's New Orleans. Yeah.
I'll get a high end.
Rum. Some Ron Zacapa 23.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Anybody else getting gifts? Remember, gifts are not required.
That's Anastasia's.
There you go.
That's right.
I'm the
Anastasia.
plus one.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Oh, I forget.
I ain't gonna buy
Great.
Nothing. That's right. That's right. You're the plus one. You don't have to either. Yeah.
I get to hoard all my money like a dragon would.
That's right.
We're the only ones on the hook for a present. Not required,
Oh,
but
is that gold?
she doesn't even reach the thing.
Why is that such a weird piece of gold you got there? It's a hunk out of the stove.
It's like one of the legs.
It's this weird kind of
Bring
cloth
me a club?
A golden club.
a gold claw fit.
just a claw
weird,
foot. Yeah.
strange.
Oh,
That'd be weird. All right, 7:30 rolls
take that
around.
back. I actually have a gift.
No, good. Uh-oh. What's it got? What's it got? It's a Dresden Files business card, isn't it? Yes. All right.
No, but that's gonna be part of it. It's gonna be like a little, it's just like a little box. And you know, like those like little divider boxes that have like, you know, usually people keep for like little glass file kind of things. Just a little,
Sure.
you know, just like one of those little simple boxes.
Yeah.
And like the first thing I wanted, like I just like want to go through like my high quality collection of things and want to just go like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, just like a little bit of something.
Like an arcane bento
yeah,
box.
just like a little arcane, like,
I love it.
yeah, exactly. Just like a little thing of like, you know,
With
that
the
looks
little-
fine. Someone could probably do something with that.
And
you
they
know,
put the
just
little wooden
a
top on top
Yeah.
or close the lid and
Yeah,
just
that's-
wrap it up. And
A
so
Yeah, that's
legit
it.
Little
gift
ribbon.
to be.
Exactly.
I love it.
legit
That's
gift.
good. That's good. Alrighty. So 7:30 rolls around and you all start heading down to St. Charles and Canal Street, which all of you can find pretty easily. As you start getting closer, you start realizing that each of you, I don't know if you've talked to each other at this time, so you may not all know that you're all going, but you start looking around and realizing that you think you see someone dressed like Joan of Arc. Huh?
I probably shot Bunk a text.
You probably did,
we probably
I just heard I shot Bunk, and I was like,
I
why?
Shot the Bunk.
You see a woman dressed in a gray cloak carrying an umbrella, which is not hard to figure out. And you see this guy in a really stylish suit standing next to Anne Marie, who runs Marie Laveau's Voodoo House. She meets you there. She's dressed in this beautiful, what looks like kind of a white dress. She's got her hair tied up in, kind of the traditional wrap like a lot of the voodoo priestesses wears.
Yeah, wearing a mask like that. Looks like a dark gray kind of thing. Just.
She's not wearing a mask, by the way.
I am.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh wait, we're wearing masks, so would we even recognize each other?
Well,
Oh no, that's obvious. It's the
Umbrella,
moment
gray
you see
cloak.
it, and I was like, oh no.
No, umbrella and gray cloak.
I
Yeah, you know
have
who she
a
is.
fancy mask
She does.
on and a pretty dress
Yep, everybody. She's dressed to the nines.
and the cloak
Yeah, she's dressed to the nines.
and my umbrella.
That's right. And he's dressed very gold and black and looking.
I got a silver dragon mask.
There you go. That's
Oh,
perfect.
I think I
Very
recognize
often
everybody except for you because you're wearing a full face mask.
Yeah.
So you may
There
not
was
be
a
sure.
tin behind
But
this.
you recognize Anne Marie Laveau with him, and so you're Anne Marie Laveau, and you're kind of like, I wonder who she's.
That
got
also
with
being
I don't
said,
know
I
that I
usually
would
wear
think-
like
oh,
coveralls or
obviously
No, you would.
something
You,
like that.
she's got.
She's
She's there.
coveralls.
Yes.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
It's gonna be your thing.
You do see Sydney St. Clair standing there. You see Bella St. Clair, his sister, which you're probably the only one who's actually met Bella. Since you were kind of trained by the Devonees, you probably met her a few times. There's a lot of other people that you don't recognize. A few of them, Jody, you may have seen them around the Devonay mansion. You're not sure. Everybody's wearing masks. Kind of hard to tell. You see Anastasia. She's wearing just this kind of little mask that's on a stick like that. She's got this beautiful white dress on that's kind of sparkly but very subtly, and it's way plunging back. It's kind of up a little bit here, but she's got this, it way plunges down to that. She looks absolutely phenomenal. You also see several other people, standing around. You're there with Swift. Swift is wearing a straight black suit. He's got a black mask that he's wearing that, it's kind of on with a rubber band. Of course, all of you are carrying your stuff. You assemble there, and you've been there maybe 15 minutes. Oh, your date. You're standing around kind of looking.
I have my gift too. Where am I supposed to do
Oh, right.
it?
No,
Just
hold
carry
on.
it in? Okay.
You're kind of standing there, and this gentleman walks up. He's wearing a white suit and a white top hat and a red flower. And he's wearing this mask that looks like a skull.
Of course.
And he comes walking up to you, and tall, kind of thin
How
guy.
does he know who I am?
He walks
Because
up.
of the cloak?
He walks. Yeah, you're hard. And an umbrella. And he walks up to you, and he says, "Della Fontenot, I'm here for Percy Lestrange." This deep melodic voice, really nice looking guy. You can kind of see he's got darker skin, pretty dark, and he says, "Well, I am your date for tonight,
And you are?
Samdi." He looks at you and he says, "Sorry, not Samdi." He goes, "Legba. I believe we've met before." Wrong name. Sorry.
See, that's also who I originally thought it was.
I
was just like-
wasn't even on my radar.
No,
but
and he
okay.
reaches out and he grabs your hand and he kisses it very nicely and he says, "You look much better than when I saw you before."
Well, I brought a gift that I was going to give to
The Devonees.
Devonees?
Sydney St. Clair
Oh,
that I think is more suited towards you.
you gonna hand him the bottle
I hand
or the
him-
box or whatever?
I hand him a box of it's Ron Zacapa Sanitario.
Oh, that's
XO.
the good stuff. Yeah, and he opens the box and goes, "Oh, this is fine." Though I know you already owe me one favor, so I'm going to call it in tonight.
Great.
He says, "We have to drink this before we go home. Not the whole bottle, but at least you have to sample some with me."
Of course.
Good. Well, then we are even.
Obviously.
Play it to his inner party
I
voice.
said,
Well-
the strange.
Yeah, I mean, me.
this
Papa
guy.
like me.
She's like, I'm trying to get some of these debts off.
He says, good. Well, okay. We may not be quite even because.
See, I blame y'all.
Well, I'll tell you what I need from you later. But for now, let's enjoy ourselves. The streetcar pulls up. Everybody starts loading on. Everybody make me an alertness check.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you're gonna curse my dice.
Sorry, too late.
I roll bad all night.
Like I have anything to do with
That's
it.
another
That's
thing.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, even.
Yeah,
That's not
I
bad.
didn't get it from
Here,
you
you
at
want to
all.
touch my dice?
One,
No,
okay.
I'm not petty.
1, 3.
Yes, okay.
Is alertness?
Alertness. Yeah.
3.
3.
I got a 2.
Okay. Those of you who got a 3 or higher, you notice everybody starts loading onto the streetcar, and it's been, of course, rented only for your group. So you guys are the only people who are on there. Everybody's dressed really nice, women in beautiful gowns, and a lot of them wearing shawls. Again, all of them look like they're probably from the upper crust of New Orleans society. You notice, once you've loaded, that there are 4 men standing kind of off to the side. And they're all wearing long black coats over black suits, and they're wearing masks. Masquerade masks, but actually very similar to yours. And they're just kind of standing there, and you guys load onto the streetcar, and they see you, and they immediately turn and walk away once everybody's on the streetcar.
They don't load on?
No, they don't.
Uniform kind of outfits?
Yeah, all of them wearing black kind of, look like, the kind of these woolen overcoats like you would wear over a suit to keep it, safe.
I noticed this. I'm
like,
asking questions.
like
but I
you
didn't
would see
know.
servants in the old.
No. It's like you would wear over a nice suit to keep yourself warm, and then they're all wearing these masks that are very similar to yours, nondescript, but they're black.
Right.
So and once you guys get all loaded on, they turn around and just walk off. So they don't get on with you. Streetcar starts to move. There's people lining the roads. There's tons of beads and stuffed animals and little knickknacks and doubloons, and you guys are throwing them out. There's actually a guy playing guitar on the back and a guy with a ukulele, and they're kind of singing as you go along. Everybody's having a good time. There's bottles of wine. There's cans of beer. People are drinking, throwing stuff out there, and you come up to what used to be called Lee Circle. And, normally the streetcars kind of go around there, but you get up to the thing and you stop because you're having to wait for people to go through the circle because it's a main thoroughfare. And, people come up to the window and they're, hey, give me something. So you're handing out beads and people are laughing, having a really good time. And you notice, standing on the street corner, what looks like these same 4 guys standing there. And they've got the masks, and they're kind of looking at...
This is only alertness 3+ people?
Well, no, everybody kind of notices them because they're standing back from the normal crowd that's kind of crowding around your streetcar. These guys are just standing back on the sidewalk, just watching. And they're kind of waving like this. They look like they're... you can't tell if they're having a good time or not, but, that's what you see is they're just...
They're waving too?
Waving, but, normally when people at Mardi Gras, they're like, throw me something, and they're kind of a little bit crazy. These guys are just kind of waving at you.
Like sort of no-face vibes in the background?
Yeah, well, maybe like they want you to throw them something or something.
Nudge Anastasia and ask her what she makes of it.
She goes, I don't know. I've actually never done this Mardi Gras thing. I'm kind of new to town, so I'm not sure what that's all about. I don't recognize them.
Can I
Take that doubloon and throw it at one of them and see what
All
happens.
right. I'm going to put all my might behind it.
Okay.
Just to see. Do you want me to roll a might check?
No. You flick it out there, and it goes right towards one of the guys, and he snatches it out of the air. And then he kind of waves at you and walks toward the streetcar.
walk like that?
Okay. I do a little, not a I don't know.
Yeah,
like
you kind of like a nod thing like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he walks up to the window and he puts his hand up to the window and he's got a piece of paper in his hand.
Okay, I grab it.
When you touch the piece of paper, it's like electricity hits you, which is not a big deal for you. Okay, Ooh, that feels good. Yeah. And it's kind of a rolled up little scroll, and there's like a jolt of energy. And then the guy kind of nods his head at you and heads back to the sidewalk with the rest of the guys.
All right.
Okay. It's this weird looking drawing of what looks like the Eye of Thoth, kind of the Egyptian looking thing.
Okay.
What it does, as long as you've got that, you can one time while you're at the Devoné soiree, tag this to give yourself an extra +2 on any roll, because you get a brief burst of precognition. You know what's going to happen for just like a couple seconds, and you're able to go, hey, I need to do this to make this happen. So it gives you a +2. Now, it's only one, but it's just kind of a free tag.
I'm going to roll it up and say, hey.
Actually, you can't give it
Oh.
to. It's the jolt of electricity was the magic.
I'm trying to pump things at the other guy.
Well, actually, when
like,
you know when the guy gets back over,
It's like now Bunk is just throwing stuff at these guys.
right?
Well,
Well, the guys
foresight
turn around
just flew through me.
and leave. They just kind of walk off, because once they've given you this thing, they kind of walk off.
That doesn't stop Bunk.
Yeah, I know.
He's still.
Yeah, a couple of them catch some of the stuff, and they stop for a minute and catch some of the beads and things, but they don't come over to the thing. One of them flash. I'm kidding.
From which end?
Oh, that's not okay. Yeah. So
It's beautiful.
so they walk off. You go around Lee Circle, go down about 3 or 4 more blocks, and do you remember where the Devoné Mansion is? We actually stood outside of where it was. And so they let you off there. It's the mansion that was used in American Horror Story for, what was it, Coven? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's the actual house. If you saw American Horror Story, you know what the building looks like. Very stately, antebellum kind of looking, wrought iron fence. When it stops, you're going to have to walk maybe half a block to get there. And everybody kind of unloads from the streetcar. They're kind of stumbling. The guys with the guitar and the ukulele get off and are playing along behind you. They're not wearing masks because you have to be able to see a little better to play guitar and ukulele, unless you're really, really good. You walk about half a block. Everybody's kind of talking, drinking beer. They've got bottles of wine and glasses of wine and champagne. And the iron gates are open, and there's all these little fairy lights along the top of the wrought iron fence. There are little lights that have been put up there, like little Christmas lights. There's lights in the tree, big old swamp oak with all these lights. It's actually very, very beautiful. I mean, and then you see what looks like a masked butler at the door, and people.
Before that, as we're walking in, I want to talk shop with Anastasia and see if she's pointed out and noticed any of the Scabies people.
Yeah, she says that she's noticed. Let me get this real quick. She has noticed.
Anastasia, just to refresh my memory, is the vampire from
That we're
the
tailing
other
y'all?
family.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the family. They're the Lust family, though, right?
Right.
No, they're Fear.
Fear. Right.
Fear.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember.
She says there's a woman who she is pretty sure is Lauren Scavis, who is kind of the favored daughter of the Scavis, I don't know, clan in New Orleans. But she's accompanied by 2 guys, dark hair.
I thought it was a +1, not a +2.
These are +1 and +2, which is weird. They're 2 guys in black suits, wearing kind of gold masks, very nondescript. You think maybe bodyguards? You're not real sure. Dark hair. You can kind of see their skin. Their skin is kind of an olive complexion.
Can I do some kind of smell reptilian sense to see if I can smell like I guess big odors, like I don't know, like ghouls smell awful.
Right.
Fairies might smell nice. I don't know.
Well, yeah. That would probably be investigation.
Okay.
Let's do that. Yeah. And if you're going to use like your dragon nose, I'll give you a +1.
Yeah, that's what's gonna kind of do or do like.
You can hide it behind the mask anyway, so yeah.
You said investigation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. Same thing. 0.
Okay. You can't really get any kind of scent off of them besides, they smell human. That's about all you can tell other than that.
Okay.
But she says that, Anastasia says she's pretty sure that this is probably Lauren Scavis, the way she carries herself. And this woman, all the Skavis are a little skinnier than normal because they're despair vampires, and so they're not voluptuous like the wraiths are, who are the lust vampires. Anastasia is actually very pretty for a vampire who is fear. But I'm not sure what a fear vampire would look like anyway. But the despair vampires are just kind of...
Like all vampires have at least a +2 hotness anyway. So
well, yeah. Well, I don't know. Actually...
Well, besides the black court.
Right. Ew, they're gross. This Lady Lauren, she definitely does a +2. But, the guy you met that you killed at Geotronics only had probably like a +1. He was just a little too thin and a little too wiry to be just really attractive. Marcel.
For some reason, whenever I think of like what a fear vampire would look like, I just think of Bella from Twilight.
Just hollowed out.
Just kind of like hollowed,
like dark.
Emotionless.
Emotionless, yeah. I can see that. Yeah. After Edward, and where he met Sparkling in daytime. Anyway, well, you remember?
Wake away! This is the face of a monster, Sparkle. That is
not a monster.
You've just been lightly jogging through the forest.
That's right.
I got 2 really dirty light.
Yeah, we were not happy with you. Yeah,
I thought it was finally getting good.
Nope.
They just perspired a little bit.
That's right. Sparkle. He's dew dropped.
Hey, it was payment for all the horror movies.
13 ghosts. That's right.
Or
anyway,
8-legged freaks.
Oh, that was the one that you loved with all the spiders. Yeah, because you love spiders so much.